Ladies, welcome to this video. Hopefully you have a fantastic Tuesday. Great week. Hopefully you having a great week as well. So I wanted to go live today and talk about, first and foremost, I want to welcome most of the new people inside this group. Some are new, some are currently working with me. We have some past clients. We have some people that got interest from whether it was my email list or anything. But anyway, today I want to talk about something new. I want to talk about something that I kind of named in a specific way because I realized that what we're going to be doing in this challenge coming up in a week from now is going to be some sort of intermittent fasting. It's geared to people, to ladies that actually want to lose weight, but specifically are ready to lose weight. Therefore, like if you took our previous challenge on getting your body metabolism ready to lose weight, that would be a fit. If you are a person that lose and gain weight all over and over again, is also a fit because it means like your body is actually ready. And all you really need to nail is your ability to lose weight, meaning like you need to nail a strategy. Now, what is the better for the metabolic flex diet? We'll call it that because essentially it's not a really like the problem with intermittent fasting or carb cycling or keto or any diet out there is that they basically confine you in some sort of rules or things to follow, right? Now, if you understand how the body works instead, if you understand that this set of rules can be customized and bent for your benefit from whatever you want to achieve, then it's really a matter of feeding it into your life, right? So we know that things are important. There are a few things that are important, right? In one of the training inside the challenge, I will show you visual about how to do this. But today, I just want to give you almost like an intro, an overview. But as always, the important part it is understanding that I can give you all the tactical knowledge in the world. If you do not do anything with it, or if you do not take action and you just consume the content for the purpose of you feeling better, much like you consume a webinar, much like you're reading a book, you're hearing a podcast, and if you say to yourself, I will just consume this and I feel good because I'm taking a small little bit of action, that doesn't bring you anywhere. Like we know that we do this and I've been very vocal about it. Now, with this being said, what I want you to do, it's understanding that when you join the group, it doesn't necessarily mean you're joining the challenge. Meaning like, or better say, it's not automatically mean that you've been accepted inside the challenge. So we need to see that you are here for the right reasons. We need to see that you are want to actually do it seriously because the winner, I was thinking about giving away a scholarship of 3 months to the winner. Now I want to do something even better because so far, and I need your help for this. Like we need a lot more signups if that's gonna happen. But so far, I'm thinking about even something even better. Not one person winning, but giving everybody a chance to be coached for free throughout the holiday period, which is usually between November and December, which is usually the time that people are struggling the most. There is statistic all over the place that shows that when you are in that specific time frame, you will by nature either gain weight. In fact, you will gain weight. And so if I can magically help you to just keep the same weight or even lose it throughout the holidays, as we done all the time, likely this year is not going to be a holiday challenge. There is going to be some sort of like me coaching through that. Or maybe there is going to be a holiday challenge, but coaching you through that in a certain way. And this starts from today, right? I said my promise to some of you is gonna be lose up to 15 kilos by 2025. That means like you need to actually start doing the work. Start doing the work is simple. There is a video on top over here when you go on the features that talks about exactly how this challenge is gonna be like. And if that's for you, I want you to introduce yourself, not on the thread, make your own post. The other thing I want you to do, mandatory, go inside the event tab and mark yourself going to the kickoff call. Because if you want to win anything inside a program, there is going to be some sort of a kickoff call telling you exactly what to do, but you need to attend. Okay. And therefore, aside from that, those are just the only two things for you to actually start doing the work. Oh, yeah. If we're not friend in Facebook yet, I suggest you friend me because I will send you messages. Excuse me. And if you don't see those, if you're not friends, sometimes you don't see them. Therefore, like you miss them, and then you're like, oh, I kind of didn't know. I didn't know. And the thing is, remember when I was in school and university as well, there was they give you all this list of things to do. It's like, oh yeah, you must do this, you did it, and if you don't, if you miss them, that's on you. Like your grade is gonna be affected. So in reality, I think like life is a pretty good similar things to, like school, like if you don't do the things that you said that you're set up to do, and it's not really your fault because you haven't seen them, then it's also is your fault anyway because you haven't done the action that is going to allow you to see them. So now as we go into the what is the better for the metabolic flex diet, is something is basically the understanding that intermittent fasting or any fasting protocol, it's a quick way for you to create that calorie deficit. If your body can sustain a calorie deficit, therefore, if your body is ready, and every single time you create a calorie deficit, you don't just go back and binge, or you just don't get super stressed, or your body can handle it well, and that would be, and you would know that by stuff like measuring like your blood sugar. If your blood sugar is all, you eat almost nothing and your blood sugar is high anyway, you're creating sugar from the stress from your muscle. You would know it because aside from that, you don't necessarily lose weight, but you also, your measurements are not shrinking. You feel bloated all the time. You cannot sleep. The energy is through the all over the place. The cravings is high. All this indicates that you're not ready to lose weight. And if you have those symptoms I described, from you are 65 and you need to go to 60, or your last 5 kilos, that might be normal. If you have 20 kilos to lose and you have these symptoms, you definitely need to rehab your metabolism first. But if you're gaining and losing, if you lose but you don't keep it off, if you kind of like lose, I mean, if you have this going on, like you're losing and it's like a roller coaster from bad habits, I mean, you are definitely a fit for this challenge. And it's simple. It's like you really want to understand that you really need three things, and can be done. This is why diets is the same. It's like when you're ready to lose weight, it's really about whatever you can hold best, right? So what I'm taking here is a protocol like intermittent fasting, which is going to give you a quick results, but I make it in a way that not only we allow you to keep the results, but we teach your body how to do things in the process. Intermittent fasting teaches that if you cut off a huge amount of calorie and over 40, if you are able to sustain that and the body's not stressed, then you will be able to maintain the results. The problem is that it doesn't tell you what to eat. It says, okay, eat whatever you want. I would like to take the pyramid of nutrition, which is basically, again, we'll have a Zoom visual so like you're gonna understand everything. But right now, let's imagine that on the bottom of the pyramid there is the habits, behavioral change, and calorie deficit, right? So we need to create a calorie deficit, whether it's a 500, 1,000, 1,500. We need to create a calorie deficit, right? There are certain ways to do it. There are. I would highly argue against fasting for days or like the protocols, fasting for 2 days and then whatever. I would hardly again argue against that when you're 40, unless you have 30 kilos to lose and unless you really feel like you're not hungry, right? There are certain ways to do it that anyway. There is a importance about keeping your minerals high, the salt high. There is things about the potassium. So there are things that electrolytes needs to be done a certain way. But I would still say that might not be the best thing if you're over 40, because like essentially your body's changing. Instead, there is a way to create this deficit, and then you go to the next thing, which is basically food quality, hunger management. Hunger management. If I can eat an apple and I'm not hungry, um, that's a good food for me. If I can get a glass of wine and I'm not hungry, that's a good food for me. Like if I can get a glass of wine and then I get the whole bottle of wine, that's a trigger food, not a buffer food, a trigger food. So you need to identify the foods that doesn't make you hungry. Forget about organic, about good or bad or whatever. You need to identify those things, right? Now, with the knowledge going up throughout these first two, you need to also come up with whatever the knowledge that you have about your body. Meaning, like if you're insulin resistant, you know, there is specific protocol about around food timing, about mixing the food. If you have menopause, it's really about what is it that is not gonna that I can hold my um, behavior better, right? If I can get a sandwich and it's gonna keep me full, rather than eat a very clean broccoli, chicken, and rice, and that's gonna make me binge. That's probably better to get a sandwich, right? But anyway, you go and step up. There is food quality, and food quality will dictate uh, it will dictate somehow how your body reacts. But it's also true that if I eat an avocado, I feel very full. But if I eat an avocado, it's a lot more calorie than getting like a box of um, how do you say, popcorn, for example, right? That's a very different composition. You know, one is full of mostly fiber and carbs. The other one is full of fat, carbs, and even though being very healthy, right? Um, then the next step is like timing, right? Timing on the food and flexibility, right? So timing, they say only factor about 10%, but I would highly argue against when you need to create a deficit like this that is only 10%. Because if I don't eat in the day and if I eat throughout the night, 1500 calorie, then I cannot sleep well. Then I will probably store most of it on fat. Or rather, if I just eat those 1500 calorie, the same things exactly throughout the day, early in the morning, I will likely have energy to work out. My body gonna wanna walk more, and in the evening, you're not gonna wanna binge, right? So there is two factors that today I wanna talk about that are very underutilized in normal, and this is gonna be almost the core of how we're gonna do it, right? Number one, food timing. Okay, we're gonna need to front load a lot of calories. So if we're gonna create let's say you have 2000 calories to maintain, and we're gonna say in a day we're gonna do 1200 calories, right? How are we gonna make this 1200 calorie be something that is sustainable, right? And we're gonna front load a lot of calorie, and then we're gonna teach your body how to burn the effective fuel according to what you're gonna need in the day. There is only two fuels you can burn, okay? Carbohydrates, sugar, your body can go on sugar, or your body can go on fat. There is only two, right? And the way it works is simple. And why this everybody mess this thing up is because they say, I cannot process carbohydrates. I cannot eat carbohydrates. I cannot eat donuts, pasta, whatever. Donuts, pasta, whatever is not carbohydrates. That's like donuts specifically is mostly fat. It's a lot of calories. It's a lot of sugar. It's not carbohydrate. Carbohydrate would be a juice, even if it's just juice, right? If it's just sugar, table sugar. Carbohydrate would be probably there is fructose and glucose, but it's fruit, right? Carbohydrates is dates. There is a bunch of stuff that you can eat. If you have a prevalent carbohydrate breakfast and you use it, and then in the evening you get yourself somehow to the evening, and then you just get a bunch of protein with vegetable cooked in a way that maybe is mostly with fat, and so you prevalently teach your body how to process some lean protein with vegetable and some fat. I can assure you that your body is going to be learning very quickly that carbs are not the problem nor fat is the problem. It's just the combination and the unfortunately the mainstream information that you get to nuts, avocado, all this healthy stuff when consumed too much, too obsessively, and not really knowing what you're doing without teaching your body anything, because also those people are that snack in front of the TV with healthy stuff are also the people that don't want to necessarily do much when it comes to walking or training. then it's very hard for you to get the results. So this is just an introduction. Again, you will know more when the challenge starts, but I want you to introduce yourself. I'm telling you, everybody come in for the strategy, but they miss the most important part. The most important part is you doing the work. The most important part is that if you do not understand why you are in the way you are right now, what got you there, why you cannot get unstuck, and why don't you just take the action that you need, being lack of motivation, being lack of time, even though everybody put the time in the things they want to do. Therefore, everybody has time. Is a choice that you don't put the time where you need. Then bad strategical implementation, not knowing what to do, doing it not well, whether you don't know it, whether you don't care. This takes you to the results that you are today. You manifest the life that you built, that you were that you work towards. How do you do that differently? You take yourself out of the comfort zone. You just do the work. You take the action. You go live in here. You introduce yourself. You go to the kickoff call. You do the things that you're supposed to do. I'm gonna be reaching out to you. I'm going to be sending you messages. I'll see you in about a week. And please introduce yourself in the meantime. Bye bye.